Mr. Monty coming at you live and direct. Back Row Ministry, the world premiere. Keep your comments coming. Getting a lot of comments about the last couple of videos I dropped of being persecuted. Hey, like I say, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. You follow the script the best you can. I don't understand the script myself personally, but this is why the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball continue to lose money. I mean, just regurgitating the same things over. It's like Roman Reigns being at WrestleMania 5 years in a row headlining. I mean, you regurgitate the same product and people get tired of seeing it. And, you know, sooner or later the NBA, if they don't change up what they're doing, they're going to fall victim to this trying to make LeBron Michael Jordan. They're going to fall victim to the same things that the NFL are falling victim to. Loss of revenue, people tuning out. People get tired of seeing the same things. But today I want to talk about Roseanne and the Valerie Jarrett joke. And I just want to say this. When did we get to a point? I don't care if you're white, black, purple, red, whatever. You want to play color games. I like to use Caucasian, African American, Afro-Cuban, you know, Afro-Dominican. But when did we get to this place in America where comedians can't make jokes? When did we get to this place that every time a joke is made, it's got to be racist? So Roseanne makes a joke about Valerie Jarrett. She says she's a mix between somebody and some from Planet of the Apes. One of those creatures on Planet of the Apes, the new Planet of the Apes. Remember how light-skinned the apes were on there? But Valerie Jarrett is a very ugly woman. Let's just call it what it is. She is not fine by any stretch of imagination, and she looks like she is quite the pale rider. We'll put it that way. She's not the finest complexion of a woman. But it's like the minute anything is said, even by a comedian. Now, Roseanne has said stuff far worse about people, mostly about her own people, about Caucasians. Said things far worse. The minute anything is said about anybody, for some reason in the Obama administration, the persecution hat goes off. Persecution hat goes off. Now, when did we get to the point where comedians can't make jokes? When did we get to this point that if a comedian makes a joke, oh man, we gotta take them off air because you can't talk about this person? They're comedians. They talk about everybody. They're equal opportunity. That's not the first person she's put down. It's not the last. And it's always this, well, she's racist because she said that about Valerie Jarrett, and she said the lady looked like a monkey from the Planet of the Apes. She's not talking about the dude. Oh, what she talking about the dude when that player them monkeys was. Valerie Jarrett is not the finest looking thing on the earth. I've had to listen to the joke. Hey, it's a cold joke. I'm like, hey, that's kind of low. But that's what comedians do. That's what comedians do. Was she a fan of Valerie Jarrett? No. Does she has the right not to be a fan of Valerie Jarrett? Yes. When did we get to this point where you have to like what I like? And if you don't like what I like, then I'm going to persecute you. I'm going to call you racist. I'm going to say all this stuff about you. When this lady has said things far worse about her own people. Go through some of those jokes that Roseanne was telling earlier today about some Caucasian people. Roseanne has always hit people with low blows. That's just her. That's just the comedy she likes to do. She's never really changed. But to persecute the lady for being a comedian, they tried the same thing with Dave Chappelle, and it's just been this constant where now comedians got to watch what they say. When does a comedian have to watch what they say? Now, there were some things that comedians would not say. It's like, for instance, the N-word. Comedians use the N-word more than anybody. There's a large population that love to use that word. They're comedians. This is what they do. We don't expect them to be anything more than comedians. When they say and make their stance and say the things they have to say, for instance, D.L. Hughley said what he said about Bill Cosby, persecuted D.L. Hughley for that. DL was telling his side of the story from his perception and the things that's been going on in his world, which is comedy, from Mr. Cosby. He didn't say nothing wrong, but they persecuted him for it. Comedians' jobs are to make jokes. That's what they do. And if you in a line of fire for the joke, your ass is gonna get ate up. Diana Ross that year when my man got at her, Mooney got at her at the Black Comedy Show. He ripped on Diana and her kids with that. They were so hurt. He's a comedian. That's what he does. He don't care about your feelings. Richard Pryor used to cuss out the audience, call them all sorts of sick names. He became famous doing that. When did we start caring about comedians and what they're saying? Oh man, shit, Roseanne is racist because she said Valerie Jarrett is ugly. The bitch is ugly, shit. Ain't nothing fine about Valerie fucking Jarrett. The bitch is ugly. Let's call it what it is. That's all she was saying. The bitch ain't fine. Okay. She's a fucking comedian. What's that gonna change Valerie Jarrett's life? That's gonna remove her from the time she spent in the White House? And first of all, what the fuck did she do when she was in the White House anyway? The bitch didn't do nothing while she was there. Why are we putting stock in a bitch that didn't do no work? Why do we do this in America? Why do we do this in America? So, attacking comedians for being comedians is fucking wrong. She's a comedian. She has said worse stuff about her own people. She said stuff about African Americans. She said stuff about Hispanics. She don't give a fuck. That's why she got paid the big bucks. Because Roseanne was the first really raunchy comedian who just didn't care. Second to Joan Rivers. Joan was another one who didn't give a fuck. She was gonna say what she said. Joan said what she had to say about Michelle. They persecuted Joan for saying that about Michelle. You can't say that. Man, what's the traffic doing? You can't say that about this person. When did we get to this point? When did we get to this point in America where a comedian can't even be funny? So ABC made their stand. They took the lady show off. Nobody wasn't watching the show anyway. I think the whole idea of trying to bring that show back was a bad idea. Maybe this was just an easy way to get the show off the air and not hurt Roseanne's feeling or not hurt her fan base. Because I think the show was really just losing money. I mean, it was a good, some things shouldn't be brought back. Roseanne had a run. I mean, I used to watch the show as far as syndication. I loved watching some of the episodes, but sometimes you just got to let things go. Sometimes your time has come, your time has passed, and just let things go. So I think this was just ABC's way of just getting out of this show. Because how you going to cut a show after 2 episodes? And now, with Netflix, they shooting whole episodes before the season even starts. So they only shot 2 episodes? Come on. No, they only aired 2 episodes. But, possibly the show might pop up on Netflix, something like that. Bring it in new life where, you can say what the fuck you want to say. Ain't nobody trying to knock you off the air. But I don't know how we got to the point where a comedian can't be funny. Comedians can't be funny. And, I'm an African American. And I don't let things affect me. But when you're in the limelight, you open yourself up for these attacks. And the first people that are going to move in is going to be comedians. It's going to be comedians. They're going to move in. They're going to attack you. And everybody's a target in the land of comedy. And now we get into the place where you can't say anything about anybody. You say anything wrong about anybody, and you're going to get persecuted. Sadly, that's where we at. That's where we at. You say anything about anybody, you're going to get persecuted. You're going to be persecuted. That's just how it is. So we need to get back to a point where freedom of speech means freedom of speech. And we at this place where if you work at my network, and you're a comedian, you just can't say anything. Okay, but why did you hire the person? You knew Roseanne was a raunchy comedian when you hired her. Now all of a sudden, She said something about Valerie Jarrett and the Obama administration. She's a bad person. Oh, she called her a monkey. No, the bitch said she looked like one of them monkeys on the damn show. The bitch is ugly. Shit, that's all the fuck she said. It's a fucking joke. First thing black folk, man, she's calling her a monkey. Are you a fucking monkey, black man? Are you a fucking monkey? No. Is there some ugly motherfuckers in the world? Yes. Is Valerie Jarrett one of them? Hell fucking yeah, the bitch is ugly. Shit, the bitch is not fine. The bitch, she didn't say nothing wrong. Let's get back to this point where add some change. Let's get back to this point where comedians can be comedians. Comedians can be comedians. They can say shit that might be funny to some and might be offensive to others. All comedians have done it. All comedians have offended. Shit, black comedians talk about Caucasians worse than anybody. And the minute somebody says something about us, we're offended. No, stop. Because if you gonna throw it, you gonna have to be able to take it back. And Valerie probably didn't laugh about some jokes about people. So this persecution for a comedian is a bunch of BS. Comedians were made to be funny. They weren't made to be political advocates. They're made to be comedians. And that's what they are at the end of the day. Mr. Motley Back Road Ministry, you know, freedom of speech. What's happening to it?